long time ago, when I take off my glasses, people are like, well, this guy definitely stormed the Capitol. But this guy definitely sits down when he pees, which is a drastic. I didn't know a piece of clothing could change who I voted for. It's funny because this guy's intolerant and this guy's gluten intolerant. This guy voted for Trump and this guy voted for Kelly Clarkson on the American Idol. It's a big difference. We have anybody here as an immigrant or anybody born abroad? It's the first mistake. Never acknowledge that question. Get him out of here. Round him up. I don't want to be here. Can we get him out? No, I'm an immigrant too. Actually, I'm from Eastern Europe. And I don't want to be culturally insensitive, but everybody from Eastern Europe sounds evil. You guys ever been on the phone with someone you could just tell by the cadence of their voice that they definitely have a facial scar? Like, I haven't met this person, but I can already tell half their face is burned off. It's what calling home is like for me. It's every single time it's like, Jesus Christ, Grandma, fine, I'll come over and visit. Just let the girl go, please. Can we talk about this later? From a place called Albania, that's where I was born. It's a beautiful country. Thank you. Cheers are nice. Money would be better. It's not doing so hot. It got most people in my life heard about Albania from Liam Neeson's movie Taken, which is it's a movie. You guys seen that where his daughter is kidnapped by international crimes? In that movie, my people are doing the taking. That's our bad. But then Liam Neeson spends 2 hours killing off a third of our population. To save one person, I have a hard time seeing who the victims are in that movie. You know what I mean? They made 2 sequels. It's a genocide by this point. It's crazy. You ever thought your dad loves you, and then you watch that movie and you're like, there's more he could do. I don't know how much my dad's gonna get me back from sex traffickers. He's on a slow-pitch softball team. Is that gonna help? I don't know. It's not gonna do much. I think my favorite part of the movie, those of us who've seen it remember this, is when you find out Liam Neeson's daughter is flying to Paris, but then she's gonna follow the band U2 in concert across different cities with her friends. And we all had the same thought in the theater. This girl deserves everything that's coming. I never thought I'd watch a movie and root for the sex traffickers. She's a U2 fan? They better sell the shit out of her. They better traffic her hard. I think my favorite part about kind of acclimating here in the U.S. has been helping raise my dad into the man he is today. And I use that terminology because those of us that have an immigrant parent know that having an immigrant parent is a lot like having an autistic child. Those are the only 2 groups of people in my life that I've ever had to say, hey, listen, we don't talk like that in public. Why don't you sit down and finish your ice cream, all right? I'm not doing that here. This is a real conversation that my dad and I had. We were at a bar and he watched an interracial couple walk in. And apparently the way my dad addresses that situation is by saying out loud in public, ooh, 1 white, 1 black, nice. And he gave him a thumbs up too, which was weird. I'm like, why did you do that, man? They can hear you. He's like, I'm trying to show them I support them. That's apparently the way my dad shows solidarity with interracial couples, by acting like a mildly autistic racist person, which is interesting. I like to think in my heart he's just skipping through the streets counting out people's races. 2 white, 3 black, 4 Chinese. 1, I'm not sure. I don't. Whatever Chrissy Teigen is. Just figuring it out. I did just move up here from DC a little bit ago, a couple months ago. I'm glad I came here. I'm tired of having the same conversations because if you live in that area, everybody tells you the same thing. You can either get a security clearance or you can get high, which is as if those are my options. You know what I mean? I've had a top secret clearance for 8 years. I've been high for 9 years. I'm high right now if this hat's not blatantly obvious. I was high when I filled out the security questionnaire. The entire time I thought it was a BuzzFeed quiz. I'm reading through the questions like, how would you handle classified paperwork? And I'm like, how does this help me figure out which Sex and the City character I am? This is a stupid quiz. I don't know if I'm a threat to national security, but I'm a Samantha. Does that help out? It also sucks because like my friends are in that phase, you know, where like I'm like the one unmarried single guy, so they always want to do extreme stuff with me when we hang out to escape their lives. I'm always like, let's get some weed and kill a six-pack, and they're like, let's get some ketamine and kill a congressional intern. My wife's been a real bitch. I got a vent. I'm like, let's calm down, Senator. Start with a beer. They always want to go to strip clubs too, which is lame. They think I enjoy that as a single man. I'm a very anti-strip club person. I've never been in any situation where I was being sexually aroused and thought, man, I wish all my friends were here. This erection is good, but I wish Steve was here getting hard. Right next to me. He'd know just what to say. I'm a bit of a cinephile. I watch a lot of movies. I've been haunted recently by this one shitty movie with Robert Pattinson, and I want to talk to you guys about it. It's called Remember Me. If you guys have seen it, you know what I'm going to talk about. And if you haven't seen it, there's only two things you need to know. It's not worth your time. Don't bother. And it's got the greatest twist ending in modern cinema history. At the end of the movie, Robert Pattinson is waiting in his father's office as they're about to reconcile their relationship. And the camera pans out, and you realize that Robert Pattinson is standing on the North Tower of the World Trade Center on 9/11. And it's over. That's the movie. Like a few tears are shed and the credits roll. That's and everyone has questions because it comes out of nowhere. Everyone's like, did this movie come out around 9/11? 10 years after. We'd already started to heal. They're like, no, you got to remember again. The movie have anything to do about New York culture, the war on terror, Iraq, anything? Absolutely not. It was a romantic dramedy. It had nothing to do. You can't even tell what time it is in the movie. There's no clues that remind you that it's the early 2000s. There's no scene of Robert Pattinson driving and the Baja Men comes on. You're like, oh, it might be the fall of 2001. It might. That's a pre-Iraq War America soundtrack. But as you guys can imagine, absolutely dragged by critics. Everyone's like, this movie sucks, this is terrible. I seem to lean on the side of thinking that more romantic movies should end in historical tragedies. Which is, like, I want to see the version of Jerry Maguire where Tom Cruise is staring into Renee Zellweger's eyes and he says, you complete me, and she says, you had me at hello. And then Tom says 10, 9, 8, and it pans out and you realize they're both in the Challenger in 1986. That's the movie I want to watch, you know what I mean? I don't care when it comes out, but if the next Meg Ryan movie doesn't end with her and Tom Hanks being in a Titan submersible under the ocean, I don't want to watch it. I want to see it. I'm going to end on this. I had some ideas for movies that I really love if they ended in historical, terrible ways. Can I read you guys my ideas, see if you like these? These are my favorite movies if they ended in terrible ways. Oh, this is good. You guys like Up? Up was one of my favorites. Up, but the U.S. government mistakes his balloons for Chinese spy balloons. And they shoot them down. The Little Mermaid, but it takes place in the middle of a Japanese fishing lane. That's not as fun. Oh, Hitch, but Will Smith is helping Jada find love. That's a good one. Mean Girls, but they're attending Columbine. Last but not least, Paw Patrol, but they end up in Michael Vick's backyard. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.